Evening all. I'll just check that this is going out okay, and then let's just pin it, and let's also quote tweet it just so that the maximum number of people get to see it. Okay, that should do. Welcome everybody. I just thought I would have a little bit of a spending spree. I've had a pleasant day out with the daughter, trampoline in the morning, and this little theatre visit in the afternoon. I'm going to close one of these things. Let's tell you what. Let's stop people from responding directly to the live stream, and instead I'll pick up all of the answers from the quote tweet. All right, so we've got 19 viewers coming here now. We've got a few links hopefully already dropping. Oh, Dreamer Mind, that was quick. This is a little unsafe for work. Let's have a look at your 0.18 Sol. Let's have a look at the rest of your work. Dreamer Mind comes up every day with the most beautiful motivational comments and uplifting words. So I'm very motivated to collect something here. Wow, you're doing well, aren't you? No secondaries available on all of these things. So let's go with the one that you've suggested anyway. Only 3 out of 10 of these left. I'm going with Phantom Sol. And confirming. Okay, thank you very much for being first up, Dreamer Mind. Baha is also watching carefully. Baha, thank you very much for showing up again. I love your watercolors, and this one's got some delightful animation going on as well. 8 Tezos, so we've got 1 exchange and 1 Tezos going. That's a nice little mix. Oh, this is a secondary. Interesting. Do you have nothing available on primary, Baha? Let me just have a look. Dancing Irises, I think I already have. Winter's Magic, I don't think I've had before. And this is available. I've got 1. I already have one owned. And I know I've got this Wings of Beauty. Dancing Irises, and now Snake, I don't think I have, but that's not available. Red Devils, let me have a look. 3 editions, 666, and I don't have one yet. So this is the one we're going for. Thank you very much, Baha, for showing up. I don't know what time it is where you are. This is a bit later than I normally do. I was expecting to pick up some of my friends from the United States at this time, rather than those to the east of me. If you have a look, I've had a little bit of a busy day already. I picked up this City Cats, which is minted from variable parameters on the spot when you buy one. This is from David Oxley. It's a fascinating project, and I'm very interested by the emerging properties platform, which has just got set up. And Arcane came in via DMs. This is an old friend of mine with this creative coding generic generative art piece, which I think is fascinating. We already got that earlier on. So the Sourcebook collection is developing very nicely, largely as a result of these buying sessions. You can see I've probably got, I don't know, I think I've got more, well over 1,000 now in the object.com, which I've been collecting. I've barely sold anything out of here, and I've certainly sold very few of the things I created back in the early days of Night Cafe Studio. So I just delisted these. These are going to stay there forever. But I've got a big and ever-growing collection of things that I own. Let's have a look at and see what the oldest things are in here. If you go back to like 2021, some of these things who I don't really hear from anymore, Unknown NFT was a lot of them. Here's one or two from Ruben Fro, who's still very active, and somewhere I've got Noel's early pieces as well. So these are the very earliest things I bought. Firefly, this is like, look at this, price of 2,000 Tez. That's the floor of that. So Tantan has gone on to great things. It's a shame some of these people have just disappeared completely. But halfway down here, look at this 3D Ninja, still very active. And I was buying some of his great work on Hiket Nunk way back in the day, back in 2021 when I first started. Same with Stripes art, and look at this, At Least We Dream, Jonathan Forster. I've got a few early pieces of his from Hiket Nunk as well. Take a look at this Vindicta. This is a great piece. Amazing that this is animation. So that's just by way of background. Let's go back to the first page. Oh, it was sorted by oldest. Let's go back to recently received, and let's go back again to who's posting. Zargol. This isn't a name I'm familiar with. But let's take a look. A Demon Lives Inside Me. One edition available for 1 Sol. Sorry, Zargol, this is a very interesting piece, but I wouldn't be able to buy from anyone else if I spent a Sol. That's about as much as I've got left in the budget. Well, I've got a little bit more than that. But thank you very much for popping up and showing me this. I should say, I normally say at the outset when I'm doing these drops, I'm looking for things about up to 15, 10, 15 Tez, up to about 0.2 of a Sol. And anything above that, we just restrict the number of people I can, give support to. Synth Sakura, 1 of 1 animation with music. Something tells me this is going to be kind of on the expensive side as well. But let's have a look at it. Oh, something went wrong there. Exchange Art, Tahara. No, I can't seem to get across to there. It's half a Sol anyway. But thank you very much for showing me this. Okay, I think we'll go back to notifications. Fat Women Are Sexier, says Solly Art. What do you think, people? Let me know in the comments. 0.95 of a Solana. I will have to park that one. Treasure Keeper. I wonder if this is... tell me something about Snekatoshi's collaborations, because I seem to be picking up a lot of them. I'm not saying this is one, but this is certainly along the same lines. So this is a primary for 7 Tez. That's a real easy pickup. I'm trying to do these collecting sessions once a week, more or less, as and when I have funds. But given the way that the crypto market is going, I'm being able to put aside a little bit of money for NFTs. I'll show you what I'm doing with this. I've got a couple of portfolios set up. One was a guy called Bitcoin Profit. He suggested 10 stocks right at the beginning of the year. And as you can see, some of them, like Alchemy, is doing very well. So overall, that's about 20% up on what I put in there. And have a look at this one that's just started more recently, Paddy Power, $490 profit. Now I only put in about 700, but the banger on this one was AXGT, which he just suggested a couple of days ago. I got in, put $100 in, and that's steamed ahead. So all of that, I'm not cashing those out, but I've got other things going on elsewhere. All of that helps to make me a little bit more confident to occasionally set aside a couple of $100 for collecting NFTs. Going back to the profile so that I can pick up these responses in order. Do you know what? I've got 98 responses. I don't want to run out of funds, so I think when we hit 100, I'm going to lock the comments on this, and then I can, in a kind of more leisurely way, work through the people who've responded so far. So everyone who gets in before the lock, I will return to, even if I don't have enough in my wallets at the moment. Let's say only I can respond from here on in. So I know some people try to slip around this by doing a quote tweet. I tend not to. I don't have a chance to look at those, but these 100 responses that are locked in now, rest assured, I will work through them and I will get to them. And if they're within budget, now Kaylee has dropped some great stuff before, but it hasn't always been within budget. We'll take a look at this one. If it's within budget, I'll work my way through over the next few days. It took me about a week to clear the backlog last time, so I've just come back to the effort. 0.7 Sol. That's a beautiful piece. I really like your painting style, Kaylee. I hope someone else can pick this up, but it won't be me just for the moment. So obviously at those price levels, $20 kind of limit, I'm really looking at editions. So here we've got one that looks more plausible, 0.2 Sol, which of course these days is a little bit more than $20, but this is still within budget. 5 of 5 remaining for the last guardhouse from the famous border crossing Checkpoint Charlie. I went there actually. I went across Checkpoint Charlie and into East Berlin before the wall came down. We drove along the military corridor that linked West Germany to West Berlin, and it was quite an adventure. Let's go for this now. And just to be on the safe side, let's see how much Sol we have left in here. Oh, you're doing okay. Still got 1 Sol left. And we'll do the same for Tez. Even better, we've got 96 Tez, about $136 left. So we could be on for a while. Let's see whether we can get through all of these 100 people who were kind enough to drop. Pink frame, 0.12 of a Sol, and in the cloud, 0.19. I am checking Sol. Thank you, Hakan. I love your photos. And do you know what? This one just jumps off the page, doesn't it? In the cloud. So this is a late night for some people who are joining in here. 0.19, 7 of 9 left. Look at the quality of these photos. This is kind of magazine quality. I'm not a photographer, but I can tell when someone has a mastery of framing, perspective, keeping an eye on the light, and so on. And this is a very sweet piece. And Hakan, a very familiar face around these parts. Thank you for constantly popping up. I really appreciate people's comments, not just on my NFT posts, but on anything that pops into my mind. Slice of life, some of the fiction. I've started to use the articles. If you have a look at this profile, not the profile, if you have a look at premium, you'll see that articles, I've published a couple. No, actually, I've published two. Cubans and Aliens, Choose Your Own Epitaph. If we go to my profile, now you can only see this in some countries and if you're going in via desktop. But this is where I'll be building up all of my articles. I'll probably drop one every day and I'll alternate between sort of just discussions like Choose Your Own Epitaph, Cubans and Aliens, which is a bit of imaginative fiction. Speculative fiction or science fiction is what I like best. For the moment, I'll be repurposing a lot of things that I wrote on Medium over a couple of years into stories on here, because I've got a bigger audience here, and I still like the stories. I might as well get extra value out of them. So yes, the point of that was just to say I really appreciated when people leave more than just a thumbs up or emojis. I like to get into discussions and back and forth on philosophical points and so on. It's kind of pop psychology, but I like it. Half a Sol Reserve, one of ones, Nate. Aesthetint, thank you very much for popping up. I'm just going to blow these up just so people get a chance to see them, but I won't be buying them on this time round. It's a very striking monochrome pieces. And here's another Half Sol Rebel from Paulina. Thank you, Paulina. King, another Half Sol. I was just talking to King today in DMs. 0.5. These are editions at Half a Sol. These are, it's starting to get quite expensive in dollar terms to go in on P. Jorge M. Orion. This is quarter of a sol. This is an interesting one. I haven't seen much recently from Jorge. This one we're going to do. It's a little bit outside of the normal budget, but this is quite a striking piece. So thank you, Jorge. Betty Najafi. Betty must be at her laptop 24 hours a day because she always manages to catch my live streams and she always has fantastic watercolors to share. Look at that. That's you can read so much into that. This red guy looks like almost like he's got a knife held across his legs, and maybe these guys have just been the recipient of its attentions. I should probably read the description rather than making it up myself. 2-minute pose of a live model, movements of model along with spontaneous feelings. I love how expressive watercolor is, and Betty is one of my favorites here. It's not just character work, landscapes and floral arrangements, and so many things work really well with watercolor. Dreamer Mind we've seen. Cartoon, hello. How are you? 10 Tez. This is bang in range. And I don't know which of these I like best. Let's click through and see whether there's a link to either of these. Seven Daughters of the Earth from cartoon.eth. And the Green Girl, the Spring Wind, the Flower Garden seems to be sold out. Well, the appropriate one to get is the Spring Wind. So let's get the Spring Wind Girl. More from cartoon, Sadness of Separation. Seven Tez. That's interesting. That's more of a kind of collage effect. Farnaz Dashti. Embracing self-love. 0.15 the soul. Why not? Mainly I wanted to do this now because I've got a little bit of time to myself, and tomorrow that probably won't be the case. Got to do some in real life work, which is going to take me a lot of the day, and also some family duties. So let's get rid of a few tabs now. Cartoon. Can I just suggest, if you're dropping things in here, since I'm locking responses at a certain point, put one piece up, which is the one that you most want me to take a look at, and then I won't kind of buy two, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for you, but there's a lot of people want attention, and also it'll just stop confusing the timeline. The Joy of Mercy. These pieces that are a mix of monochrome with a little, sometimes a little kind of luminous animation, are a real feature. It's got to the stage now where I can spot a Muna Luna piece straight away, which is a great place to get to. I know Beatrice from Almeria was complaining this morning that she hasn't really settled into one style. She's got a variety, and she thinks that might impact her her marketing. I'm in exactly the same position. I've kind of flip flopped and gone where my changing interests went, and as a result, I haven't really got any well defined style on the artistic side. It's got its benefits. It's got certainly a lot of interest, but it does mean that people don't recognize your work immediately. Love is Love, Afrofuturism. That's interesting. Afrofuturism is a genre I've come across before, and I've always been very keen on it. And that's not all you do, is it, Bitua? Got a nice variety of styles here, some of which is clearly AI and some of which looks more photographic. But this was the one you were suggesting, and this is the one I'm going to go for. Check Alt for poem. There's a poem along with it. I'm going to come back to that. Masa Ali. Now, I'm not sure where Masa Ali is. I think Iran or Turkey, possibly. This is 0.2 Cosmic Breach, 2 of 7 editions. I can't actually tell whether this looks like, okay, this looks like this is the reference image, which is a photograph, and that's been turned into kind of space whale. So that's very interesting. Exchange Art Editions. Let's go and find this. Let's check this out. Wow, what a great bit of animation. Let's see whether we hear it. Well, I can't because I haven't got headphones in. Okay, we are going to go for this one without a shadow of doubt. There's only 2 of 7 remaining. Well, that Sol balance is too low. How did that happen? Oh, sadly, that's true. Okay, this is one that I'm going to have to come back to. Wow, doesn't take long, does it, to zip through this the Sol? Okay, we'll have to leave that for now. Apologies to Masa Ali. I'm going to carry on down, and sadly we'll only be able to pick up the Tez pieces. So Apple of Love from, well, we've already collected from Cartoon, and I think from Farnaz, and definitely from Muna Luna. 0.069. I wonder, do we have enough? Sol, is $10 sufficient to cover this? I lose track of the exchange rate. Do you know what? I think I already got one of these. You should know better. This is one that I already picked up. She's Gone actually is a different one from Fafix. So this looks like it's oh yes, of course. I picked up She's Gone. I haven't picked up The Watcher. So let's see whether 0.069 doesn't sound like a lot of Sol. 889, I might even be able to get this. Not enough Sol. Alright, apologies, Fafix, we'll be back. New drop on object, that's what I want to see from Nilly. 5 tears, 8 editions for this cloudy landscape. This is the sort of place my parents always took me on holiday when I was growing up. It would always seem to be wet or rainy or misty, just like this, because we used to go to the Lake District in the north of England. So this brings back some memories. I wonder where it's taken. A village in northern Iran. Wow. Well, that certainly isn't where we went on holiday. Mirat is talking about Ladan Ashaheth and Shimsa art. Another tip when you're dropping things into these shows, put the actual link. I know it's not X etiquette, but put the actual link into the main body so that when I scroll through, I can just click and off I go, like this. The lovely penmanship of this artist, I've collected before, Baha Piece PSH. I don't actually have one of these editions, so this is what I'm going to go for. Another person who is watching and maybe has notifications on, so as soon as I go live, in their pop. Beauty Devil, 25 tears. Shimsa, we're going to go for this. Well, we're certainly going to take a look at your leftovers collection. There's the Silver Knight. This is the one that you didn't give me a link for. And you see how useful it is when there is a link I can follow. Soul Trip, 0.1 of a Sol. I'll come back to this, Zainab, because I think that's a very interesting piece. Sol trip looks like a school trip, and that's point one of a sol, which we know we don't have enough money for. Baha, we already collected something from. Denise Benici, another favourite of mine. Of course, Denise and I go back a long way. Denise dropped a couple of times with me on Nifty Gateway, back when I was curating there. I'm not ruling out returning, but for the time being, it's not. Look at this breath, this pink breath. I was going to go for this mixed female, but breath, I think, has taken my breath away. Denise does some fabulous AI and mixed media pieces, and has been one of my favourites for a long time. So congratulations, and well done for catching this. I thought this was going to catch out some of my regulars, but everyone seems to have picked it up. Let's just see where we are on the Tez front. 45, not bad, not bad. We can still keep a few people happy. Shimsa we've just collected, and Denise too. Baha, a lot of these are repeats now. Am I going to run out of links before I run out of Tez? Irfan, I think these are suggestions for other people to look at. But I don't see any object, don't see any Tez there. Here we go with Ardavan. Ardavan, oh wow, yeah, the colourful ship, Magic Eden. That's on Solana, isn't it? I can't actually remember whether I bought one of these already. Ardavan, thank you for all of your constant support on the timeline. I sort of see you there popping up and commenting almost every day. Fatime, this is a sweet little thing. A painting smaller than a matchstick. I love this collection. I've picked. Look at this. This gives you the scale of the thing. It's a really neat. And this is another person who, because of this particular gimmick, if you like, they're always immediately recognizable, which is a great characteristic to have. You think of someone like Collins Doodles, and you just can't see his work without knowing immediately that it's from him. And I think that's a real, that on balance, I think that's a characteristic worth having. Yeah, I think we've got away from the main post. So here, Sharare. Sharare we haven't seen yet. So we're going to go for your Sprout. Link below. Here we go. Sprout as in sprouting out of a bunch of flowers. After passing hard days, I spent time alone, interfaced with myself, and realized I need this to know myself better. Then I started to grow and sprout. Oh wow, what a cool animation that's got. Look, there's a ladybird running up the arm. Let me go there again. That's a nice little bonus. Cool. Thank you, Sharare. You're very welcome to come into these spaces again. Solly Art, again on Sol. Is that where you get your name from? Solly Art. I have a feeling I saw you around before Sol became such a big thing. Zargol, I think we just found that you were on Solana and we couldn't get anything. No, that's on Tezos. My mind is my being. Okay, Zargol. Looks like we've caught you on the rebound. We've managed to pick up something by you in the end anyway. Now bear in mind, when the money runs out, so do I. That was a rule I set for myself when I was hanging around the bars of New York. So back in the day, back in the 90s, when I spent a lot of time over in 7 World Trade Center. And it's stood me in good stead, because no one wants to be hanging around if someone's pockets are empty. So Zargol again, this is Roy's. Zargol kindly pointing out what Roy's has in her Solana thing. I will come back to this one. I'm clearly going to have to stock up on some more Solana when I can. My new drop from Hadis Art. Hadis Art is a new name to me, I think. 3 Sol, my word. Well done. If you can command those sort of prices, you're doing very well. I've got rather an oversupply on the Ethereum chain. I mean, they're about $2 each, but I can't shift my Sea of Souls, my jellyfish, for love nor money. I think I have quite a serious oversupply problem. Soma, we've seen before. She's on the Sol chain. And Dance in Flame is Sol. From Faraz. Sol. 17 Tez from Soma. That's a better idea. Or it's something that we can actually help you with. A 1 of 1 for 17 Tez. Isn't that amazing? You know, Tezos, the object.com and the Tez community and chain has to be my favorite in term as a collector. Not my favorite for trying to sell, but as you can tell from all the things I've got parked, transaction is likely to fail. All right, let's have a little look and see if I don't even have 17 Tez there. No, I don't. I've got 15. All right, have to come back to you, Soma, a little later for something, or to get this, and I'll just have to keep on scrolling for something to use up that last 15 Tez. From my window, 1 of 1 on object is again likely to be more than the Tez that I've got left. Let's take a look anyway. This is a nice evening view, serene view over the landscape, 40 Tez. But let's take a look at that. There's some real talent on all of the chains, but I tend to find better value and more variety of art on the Tez chain than anywhere else. 0.1 of a Sol, Berkay Ozcan. That looks great. That's like a combination of it's like mixed media. It's a bit like AI plus photography put together. 1 Sol for last call from Halil Ibrahim. What a migration there's been from Tezos over to Sol, and even more so from the Ethereum chain over to Sol. There's a good reason for that. I mean, I've been trying for days to get enough Ethereum together to buy something that was 0.01. Now, to buy just an addition from Pina, which was 0.01, I had to have 0.02 available for gas, which is crazy. 4 of 5 additions for 2 Tez. I mean, it's like shooting fish in a barrel. You can't go wrong with a low addition count and 2 Tezos. Did I mention, by the way? I didn't actually pick that up. Let's try that again. If you haven't already got on board with this, have a look at this City Cat that I picked up today. Have a look at the David Oxley generative art thing on mprops, because this is a one of one. It cost a quarter of a Tez, and it was generated from a number of different parameters at mint time. So there's an earlier post I did this morning which talks about this. You should really, if you're into Tez art at all, you should get on this train. Selling his leg for 2 Nasima design, blue color pencil on paper. Okay, well this is great. I'm buying more with that last 15. That is a weird leg. Anatomically, this is bizarre, but I don't mind a little bit of weird in my portfolio. So thank you, Nasima, for showing up. Nasima design, she's got a clock as well. Shasa artwork. Minted my first drop today. Interstellar Solitude. That's nice. It's on the Solana chain, so I'm going to have to return to that. And probably 3D animation. I can't believe I'll get 3D animation within budget on Tez. Are you kidding me? Look at that. Wow. Such a lot of work goes into 3D animation. I see behind the scenes what a lot of people do. 5.55 Tez to buy a 3D animation on Primary. Thank you very much, Sahar. Actually, this looks like a collaboration. Now, I think finally, I was going to say the money's run out, but looks like we still have a little left. Nasima design. Yeah, you've seen Nasima. There's another nice little animation. Only one left from Cabe for 4 Tezos. A little simple vector art. Terrible condition. Can't hardly keep myself. Can finally rent a house for myself and live there where I can get peace. Congratulations. Well done for sticking it out and keeping the faith, presenting your talents to the world. And feel free to pop in again, Cave. Designer, you can tell this looks very architectural. This looks like, you know, a real interesting graphical mind that you've got. One of one edition for 3.5 Tez. Dear Bearded, who always without fail pops up to say congratulations or good morning, and I really hope I have enough for this colourful piece. Let's find out. Transaction is likely to fail, so dear Bearded, I might have to come back to this one. Yep, just 1.6 Tez left, which won't get me anywhere. So thank you very much, everyone. Let's see how much more have I got to do. Actually, do you know what? I've nearly got to the bottom, but I need a lot more Sol before I can go back and pick the rest of these up. So thank you all very much for watching. I'm going to close down the stream now, and I just got a bleep on the phone suggesting that my old pal for the last 50 years wants to have an evening chat. So it's been nice to do a little bit of shopping with you. Have a good night, the rest of you.